Hi, my name is Renata, and I'm the owner of Scalp Amplified Studios. I started Scalp Micropigmentation in 2014, and I specialize in it. There's a lot of clients who come in and ask me basic questions, and my consultations always involve the same answers. So we decided to do a little video that explains the basic questions about the scalp micropigmentation, which is the SMP. SMP, which is also scalp micropigmentation, some people call it scalp pigmentation, head tattoo, hair tattoo. It's a technique that uses very small needles at a specific angle that are deposited into the very top layer of the skin. We are trying to recreate the hair follicles that somebody would naturally have after buzzing or shaving their head. It's a process of implanting very small amounts of ink into the very top layer of the skin on the scalp. So I'm going anywhere between epidermis and dermis, very top layer, a papillary layer actually, and I'm depositing very tiny amounts of ink with the small needle that is used for scalp micropigmentation. It creates a flat surface, so it is always 2D, but there are ways of making the illusion of the 3D, playing with different shades of ink and different thicknesses of the needle. Yes, hairlines are very, very individual. I don't do cookie cutter hairlines. I don't use any stencils. I look at your age, at your ethnicity, at your skeletal bone structure. So all that comes into effect. And also, if you have any pictures of when you were younger, your likes and dislikes. So some people come in with the pictures of actors or models or pictures of their friends with their hairlines that they like, and we try to recreate that within reason. If I think that it's not looking properly and a little unnatural, I will definitely put my few cents in there. But I really make sure that the client likes what they see, because that's why they're getting the scalp micropigmentation. And like I said, there are different ways of recreating the hairline that you had before, or even make it even better, if anything, yeah. Usually I recommend 3 sessions, and I also quote for the whole procedure. It needs at least 2 for you to see the results. The third one is usually a perfecting session, but sometimes depending on the skin that I'm working on, sometimes we need 4 or maybe even 5. So every time you come back, I reassess the skin, I see what heals and what stays, and then I can adjust the ink, maybe go a little darker, go slightly lighter maybe. Some people are happy after 2 sessions, and then, if they're happy after 2 sessions, then we keep the third one for later on. It also depends on the skin, how it heals. So every time you come in, I check what's left, what faded. A lot of people think that the ink is fading. It's not necessarily fading. Sometimes it's basically healing and the skin grows over it. So when I do the procedure, it looks darker, it looks more visible, it looks sharper. After a few days, it starts healing. The top layer of the ink that is still remaining maybe on the scalp, on the top layer of the skin, will clean off and wash off, and then the skin heals, and those little dots kind of close down under the skin, and so now you're starting to look at the little impression through the skin that some people will think that it's fading or it's disappearing. It's not. That's the way the skin heals. Yes, I did that quite a few times also. It just depends on the client, and I had people that work in the office, and they slowly want to introduce the scalp micropigmentation into their look, and we basically, instead of going a week later for the second procedure, we decided to go maybe like 3-4 weeks later, and then again extend it for another month or so. So over the longer time, they slowly add the scalp micropigmentation layer after layer, and that gives them a fuller look over the longer time, and it kind of confuses everybody's the way they perceive it, they see him, and then it basically looks almost like he didn't shave as close, or people get used to it, and then you add a little bit more to it. Yes, so it is possible to extend it, and instead of doing it within 3-4 weeks, we can definitely do it over 2-3 months. The procedure is very safe. I use the very top quality of inks that are available on the market. They're all FDA approved and Health Canada approved. This is a very non-invasive and very top layer of the skin procedure. There's no side effects. Some people will be red for a day or two, just because when I'm poking you for a couple of hours, yeah, your skin reacts to it and becomes a little red and irritated. If anything, it's the aftercare, or if the clients don't follow the procedure and the aftercare instructions, then they may end up with some irritation or itchiness or maybe redness for a little longer. So the aftercare depends on the skin that you have. So everybody gets an individual instruction after the procedure with me. I basically check if your skin is on the dry side or oily. That depends on the aftercare that you're going to proceed with. Most often I recommend not to wash it for a couple of days. After that, very gentle rinse for another couple of days. You're not supposed to sweat, so definitely not going to the gyms the second or the third day. Not going to saunas, no swimming, no sunbathing. So you want to keep it clean and cool and heal properly. If you are in the sun for a longer period of time, I wouldn't really worry about day to day, running from the office to the car and, going for a walk with the dog or going to the park with the kids for half an hour. But if you're in the sun, especially between the hours of 11 and probably 3 o'clock, if you're there for a longer time, definitely use a good SPF, at least 30 plus, or put a hat on. You definitely don't want to burn the top layer of the skin because that's where the SMP is sitting. So every time that you're peeling, you're fading your skin and fading the procedure also. So be cautious, just like you probably would even without the SMP, right? Like you want to protect your skin from any UV rays for a longer time. I recommend that everybody comes in for a complimentary free consultation. I don't charge for consultation just because I like my clients to be educated and know all the pros and cons before we do anything. If you have any more questions, you can contact me at 905-929-9250. I'm in Ontario, Canada, and you can check my website at www.scalpamplifiedstudios.com. Thank you.